Watcher to 6 actual. Target is in the main house. You have execute authority.
Bravo 6. Going dark.
How's it going, troops? Jordan here, back again with another Modern Warfare loadout video. And this is one that I've been wanting to do now for about a year. In today's loadout video, we are leaving our old lives behind to start a new one, as we travel to North Africa to join the Foreign Legion in Modern Warfare multiplayer. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and without further ado, let's take a look at our mission briefing. This is going to be a class setup based on the French Foreign Legion. We'll be going deep behind enemy lines with our new identities as we take on various operations across the globe. And in order to do this, we'll be arming ourselves with the best French weaponry and high-tech equipment that will reveal our enemies for us to kill. The French Foreign Legion was created back in 1831 under the rule of King Louis Philippe of France. His main vision with the Legion was to recruit foreign troops to serve France whilst operating outside of the country and assist the Armée d'Afrique to protect and expand the French colonial empire across Africa. Their first line of duty began almost immediately after the Legion's creation, during what became known after as the conquest of Algeria. The Foreign Legion was stationed near the capital Algiers, and operations included the drying of marshes. Generally some pretty awful assignments, but it helped in the development and conquering of Algeria, a country which would eventually become the homeland of the Legion for 130 years. Since its incarnation, the French Foreign Legion has operated in the Crimean War, the Franco-Prussian War, the further colonisation of Africa, World War I, World War II, the Algerian Revolution, the Gulf War, and most recently, the Global War on Terror. As you can tell, this group has seen it all. Soldiers of the Legion, also known as Legionnaires, are highly trained infantry soldiers who endure severe discipline and practice. Despite being called the French Foreign Legion, Legionnaires don't actually swear allegiance to France, but swear allegiance to the Foreign Legion itself, believing in its code and creed. They come from all different countries around the world, and look to erase their old life they previously had in exchange for a new one with the Legion. So let's begin by taking a look at our primary weapon that we're going to be equipping. Legionnaires adopt French weaponry for the most part, and their primary weapon of choice is the French FAMAS, more specifically the FAMAS F1. The Fusil d'Assaut de la Manufacture des Armes de Saint-Étienne has been the standard rifle of the Foreign Legion for 40 years, and continues to see use in the current conflicts in Mali. We have the FAMAS in game under the designation of FR 5.56, so we'll equip the FAMAS as our primary weapon. But of course we can't go in bare bones, so let's take a look at some attachments that we're going to equip. For our first attachment, we're going to choose the Solo Zero NVG Enhanced Scope. The Felon Infantry Combat System combines the soldier and the FAMAS with important electronics and systems, such as thermal visors, real-time GPS tech, and enhanced night vision. The Solo Zero NVG Scope provides us with enhanced night vision layered with infrared thermal, so we'll go with this night vision scope to mimic those Felon systems. For our second attachment, we're going to equip the Forge Tac Ballast Pack on our stock. The Forge Tac stock gives us a pouch tied around the FAMAS's stock, and this can be used to hold critical supplies while out on operations, such as water, medic kits and spare bullets. For our third attachment, we're going to choose the Recon Weapon perk. The Recon perk lets us spot enemy name tags at longer distances, and this can be referenced to the environments the Legionnaires are placed in, as places such as Mali offer vast wide open landscapes and views, which means they have to adjust to long range spotting. For our fourth attachment, we're going to choose the Stipple Grip Tape. This grip tape lets us snap onto our enemies much quicker, which shows our training being effective. And lastly, for our fifth attachment, we're going to choose an underbarrel and we're going to select the bipod. As we're building this FAMAS for long range fighting, rather than equipping a foregrip, we're going to instead use a bipod. The bipod in Modern Warfare reduces our recoil when crouched or prone, and again this all plays into our intense training being effective on the battlefield. So those are going to be our attachments for the FR 5.56. Now let's move on to our secondary weapon of choice for this loadout. For our secondary weapon, we're going to choose the Renetti pistol. One of the main sidearms used by the French Foreign Legion is the FAMAS G1, a French copy of the Beretta 92. The FAMAS G1 has been the standard for the Foreign Legion since the year 2000 and continues to show popularity amongst the group, so for that reason we'll select the Renetti for our secondary weapon. Once again, we're not going to go in bare bones with the Renetti, so let's take a look at some attachments that we're going to equip. For our first attachment, we're going to choose the Recon Weapon perk. For the same reasons as our FAMAS, the Recon Weapon perk lets us see enemy name tags at further distances, and this will generally make seeing the enemy more consistent when switching between our FAMAS and our Renetti. And for our second and final attachment, we're going to choose the lightweight trigger. This fast firing trigger will help to ensure our trigger finger isn't limited by the weapon's fire rate cap, allowing us to pop off quick shots against our foes. So those are going to be our primary and secondary weapons for this class setup. Now let's take a look at our perks and equipment that we're going to be selecting. For our first tier perk, we're going to choose Cold-Blooded. Legionnaires travel in various terrain and locations around the world, and as such, blending into their surroundings with the use of camouflage uniform is crucial to avoiding detection from the enemy. Cold-Blooded blends us in with the environment by keeping us ice cold on hostile thermal optics. We can also use Cold-Blooded to reference the soldiers' past lives being erased into distant memory, since this perk not only removes our thermal marker, but also our name tag from the enemy as well. For our second tier perk, we're going to choose Hardline. Legionnaires are always out on the front line, putting their lives in the midst of conflict. Whether it be conquering Algeria or fighting off terrorists in North Africa, soldiers of the Legion will sacrifice themselves and kill those who mean harm upon the people of the world. So to represent this, we'll go with the Hardline perk, which will let us earn our streak rewards with one less kill. And finally, for our third tier perk, we're going to choose Spotter. As touched on earlier, Legionnaires use their high-tech equipment and strict training to be able to spot and see the enemy before the enemy can see them. The Spotter perk in Modern Warfare grants us the ability to see hostile equipment and vehicles through walls, and be able to hack into said equipment for our own use, thanks to our high-tech equipment. So for that reason, Spotter will be our tier 3 and final perk. Moving on now to our equipment. For our lethal equipment, we're going to choose the Frag Grenade. Fragmentation grenades are typically seen used and equipped by the Foreign Legion, so we'll go with the Frag Grenade for our lethal slot. And for our tactical equipment, we're going to go with the Smoke Grenade. Although smoke grenades aren't usually seen used by Legionnaires, any dust or sand that gets kicked up into the air won't affect our vision too much, as we can make use of that NVG thermal scope on top of the FAMAS to seek out heat signatures from the background, with the added bonus of the enemy not seeing our shots coming. So that's why the smoke grenade will be our tactical equipment. So now that we've talked about our perks and equipment, it's time to finish off this loadout by taking a look at our field upgrade of choice, and of course our selection of 3 Killstreaks. For our field upgrade, we're going to choose Stopping Power. When out on operations across North Africa and the Middle East, Legionnaires have to be deadly accurate and fierce when firing at the enemy. And to ensure we kill our targets with robust fire, we can equip our FAMAS with Stopping Power rounds, which will increase our chances of securing those one burst kills. Moving on now to our 3 selected Killstreaks. For this setup, we're going to switch out our Killstreaks for specialist perks, since the Legion prefer to use hand and feet for up close encounters. And the first specialist perk we're going with is Ghost. The Foreign Legion is a very secretive group, where Legionnaires leave behind their past lives just like a ghost. Thanks to Hardline, it only takes 1 kill to earn Ghost, which will hide us from enemy UAVs and recon drones for the majority of the time, allowing us to flank and go deep behind enemy lines, so that's why we're going to go with Ghost. For our second specialist perk, we're going to choose Battle Hardened. When out on mission, Legionnaires wear advanced military helmets called Spectras, which are ballistic helmets fitted with real-time positioning and night vision goggles. We can represent these helmets by selecting Battle Hardened, which grants us better protection against stuns, flashbangs and gas grenades, perfect when patrolling the map. And finally, for our third specialist perk, we're going to choose Tracker. The French Foreign Legion are currently partaking in the conflict in Mali in which is primarily desert. As such, Legionnaires use their sharp eyes to spot any footprints in the ground, letting them know of nearby enemy presence so they can prepare to attack. To copy this and further increase awareness of our surroundings, we can select Tracker from tier 3, which reveals enemy footprints for us to track and trace. Combining our weaponry, perks, equipment, field upgrade and killstreaks, do not forgive and do not forget, for we are Legion. So troops, that wraps up my French Foreign Legion loadout video for Modern Warfare. Next time you boot up Modern Warfare multiplayer, definitely give this class setup a try in game. Et servir avec honneur et dignité. If you did enjoy this loadout video, then give the video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it a lot. And make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button as well for more loadouts in the future. If you have any friends who might be interested in this sort of content, then share the video around with them to help give my loadout videos and my channel more widespread exposure. And if you want to see behind the scenes previews of my loadout videos, you can follow me on Twitter at jordanxbrookes for all the latest on them. So until the next video, I thank you all for watching, Stay true to me, troops, and I'll see you in-game.
Gotcha, bitch!